G'day YouTube, Down to Bricks here. What you building? Well, today we're having a look at the latest offerings of the Star Wars buildable characters. A couple of months ago I did a video on my whole collection of buildable characters. We talked about whether they were good, bad or ugly. In that video I did talk about how I was really looking forward to the next wave of characters, and here we are. We have got the Stormtrooper Commander. On your left, 75531 is the set number. It's 100 pieces, cost you £20, 25 US, 25 euro and $40 Australian. On the right we have the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. So the first time we've got a vehicle in this style with the buildable characters. Now it is 452 pieces, set 75532. £50 it'll set you back 55 US, 55 euro and $90 Australian. Before we get into a closer look at these figures, let's have a quick talk about the piece count and the price. So I'm going to talk in Australian dollars because I'm Australian, so why not? Now $90 for the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. Does seem like a lot of money, doesn't it? When you look at the piece count, 452 pieces, I mean, we really have to take into account that, I mean, they are Technic builds, really, aren't they? So we get a lot of pins and pegs and axle pieces, little fiddly little pieces in the Speeder Bike. So that does make up a big chunk of that piece count. But considering it's only just more than double a regular buildable character price, I actually think you are getting fairly good value for money. That's not to say that I recommend paying full price for either of these figures. If you can find them on sale, that is definitely the way to go. But enough about prices and pieces, let's delve in, take a look. Starting off with our Stormtrooper Commander, first of all let's take a look at the printed pieces we get. So we get some printing on the torso here. We get a beautifully sculpted and printed helmet. We'll take a closer look at that soon. We get some printed 1x3 tiles here for the ammo pouches, same as what we got on the Death Trooper. And we get this pauldron piece as well that's just in this plastic, and there's some markings up on there as well. What I really like about this character is that you can just remove this pauldron and just make him a regular Stormtrooper. Taking a look at the back here, you can see you can mount this heavy blaster just straight in the back piece like so. It's going to pull the whole peg out. Let's just remove it. There we go. So it has a little peg. It looks a little bit unsightly just when you actually have it off the back there, just with this peg sticking out. Is very cool just the same. Let's have a look at the movement we get here. It is as for all the buildable characters. We get ball joint up in here for the upper thigh movement. We have a knee ball joint and a ball joint on the ankle for the swivel. On the arms we have a shoulder ball joint, an elbow ball joint there, and the hand is on a ball joint as well. It allows for some very good posing. With the blaster we get a couple of points to hold it, so you can slip that in one hand and bring that over, and then you can bring this hand up, slip it on like so, and then you can hold it in both arms, both hands I should say, and it does look pretty cool, doesn't it? I do like that. Now I think what we need to do now is have a closer look at this helmet piece, because it really is, for me, the best thing about this character. I think that just looks absolutely beautiful. There's some very, very nice printing all over this helmet, and even the fine markings on the breather here. That looks very nice as well. That's molded in as well down on the chin here, and on the back we get a little bit of printing as well. And just having a look at the figure from the back, get a little some calves here as well. So overall, really it does look pretty good to me. Now the good thing about it, as I said, you can convert him to a Stormtrooper. So we just pull the arm off like so, pluck the head off, and we can just remove this pauldron piece, which we do get a spare as well. And then we can just whack his head back on and plug the arm on, and there we have our standard Stormtrooper in all his glory. But that's not all we get to do with him, because if we have a look in the instructions, there is the heavy blaster, and it tells you there, if you pull it apart and use all those pieces there, and then you can follow through and actually make just a regular blaster, as you can see there. So I'm going to do that now. You do need a few extra pieces. It does tell you somewhere, I think. No, it doesn't tell you, but you do need a few extra pieces that's not in the heavy blaster. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so there we have our standard Stormtrooper with his regular blaster, and here are all the pieces that came out of the heavy blaster. Now we can still mount it on his back if you wish. We still have this piece here to mount it on his back, and just to show you, we do have a trigger mechanism as well, the same as a heavy blaster, which I didn't show you, but you just pull that back and it fires it away. This is my preferred way of having him just as the regular Stormtrooper. I think he looks very cool. Let's get on to the Scout Trooper. Now he does look very smick, doesn't he? What I really love about this character is with the use of the black armored pieces on the arms and legs, really helps blend in with the pieces that are used to make up the arm. So if we have a look at the Stormtrooper here, you can see now this is all supposed to be white, and if we look in we can see all the black there, and it doesn't quite blend in as good, whereas this character here, it really does blend in, looks fantastic. And I love how we get that extra bulk as well. He's a little bit more bulky. We got a few more pieces used in this one. Again, printed pieces, have the printed torso, printed head. A quick look from the back. We get this backpack as well, so that's pretty cool. And as I said, he's built up a little bit more, so we get these white pieces here on the elbows, like to elbow guards. We get these little knee pads as well, so just a few extra little pieces just to help bulk him up. Around the waist here and the hips, we get these little hip flaps here that you can swivel back and forth, lift up, and we have some on the waist here as well. That really does add to this character and just helps fill him out a little bit. Down here on the knee we have our little mount for the pistol, so like that, that looks very cool. And again, the best thing is this helmet piece. Really is fantastic, isn't it? Look at the detail. Let's see if I can get in here. Look at the detail in here. That is just absolutely beautiful. Great printing. Just an all-round great job on this helmet. Again, at the back, get some molded ridges in there. These are just printed on. Just looks very, very nice. But of course, that's not all we get. So let's bring in the speeder. And what a beauty that is. Have a look at that. That just looks so cool, doesn't it? Now I have to tell you that I didn't put all the stickers on. Here's the sticker sheet that comes with this. Can't even remember where these ones go, but these ones here, they're supposed to go up on these front fins here. But I just think it looks great. I really didn't think it needed the stickers. I did use one up here on the top for the display. So let's just run from the back to the front here. And looking from the very front, that is cool, isn't it? Now the only thing here, we do get these pieces here which are adjustable, so you could have them any way you like it. I mean, they are just supposed to be up like that, I believe. I probably would have preferred them just to be more fixed in place, but it does allow you to get some different angles, so I guess that's pretty cool. I mean, it just looks very mean looking down it like that. Very, very cool. Now of course we get our steering controls up the top here, so these can move around a little bit. You can move these back to front. We have our foot pegs down here. They sort of look a little bit funny just sticking down there, but they're a necessity for his feet. You gotta have somewhere for his feet to go, so that's pretty cool. Looking underneath, there's lots of little detail, and I really love this air intake just here. And we have hoses going everywhere, hose going up over here. Some of this detail up under here, that just looks great. And if we go right around to the other side, we can see we've got a few more hoses up under here. Just the way this whole thing is designed, just flows right through. Looks very mechanical, as it should, and I think that really just adds to this build. I've just shot the spring-loaded shooter off. It is so touchy, you have to be so careful. I've already lost one of them just by shooting it off into the nether, but that's alright, I will get back to that. Here are our engines at the back, and we have our flaps here for the steering, so you can bring those right down like so, lift them up. Again, very nice design. We have a spare spot down here for a spring-loaded shooter, and lucky we've got one. So let's put that in, and we're gonna put it in the shooter. See if we can, what we can do here. Okay, so we have the firing mechanism just here, so I'll just show you that a little bit better. Up under here, so if you're carrying it, a bit hard to get my big hand in there, so you can sort of hold it like that. When his legs, when you got him on there, it's a little bit harder to hold him like this if you're an A-foal. K-foals will love it though. And here we have a little trigger, so let's see how we go. Oh, there we go, blasted him. So now let's put our trooper on the speeder bike. I mean, it's just, I just absolutely love it. So cool. The other thing too is it's huge. This thing is huge. So it's Lego tells me that it is 42 centimeters, or that's like 16 inches. So yeah, it's quite large. Now, to get our trooper on there, let's just get him a little bit prepared. Get his knees up, his arms out. Okay, so spread his legs a little bit. Now to get him on here, best thing is to peg in, oh there he goes, is to peg in the feet first. So we peg them on the outer hole like so, on his foot. So let's peg that one in, swing around to this side, peg that one in. Once he's pegged on, he's pretty right. It's just a matter of getting him seated correctly, how you like him. Let's try this side. Let's get him a little bit, knees up a bit, and then we can lean him forward like so, and get his hands down here, peg that one in, peg this one in. And let's get a little bit of a bend in his arms, a little bit. And head up. Push on a little bit more, and there he is. And that is just fantastic, isn't it? Really does look good. Lift these out a bit. So very, very cool. And of course, we can just pluck the pistol off his knee and his hand off there. And that's the only thing with these yet. It's hard to get that off. I'm just going to leave it on there for now. Because that's a peg to an axle piece, it pulls out of here very easy. Certainly easier than it comes off his hand. But let's just put that in there. And here's looking at you, punk. So very, very cool. The only thing I don't like, and of course it's because we have to attach it to the knee, but I wish there was something else they could have done, just not to have this axle piece here just sticking out when it's in his hand. I just don't think that looks too good, and I think Lego think that themselves, because whenever there's a product shot, they're always showing it like this so you don't see it. So that's what I'll do too. Okay, YouTube, now we've had a close look at the Stormtrooper Commander and the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. It's time to give you my final thoughts on these two figures. So you knew I was looking forward to these figures like many other people, and I have to say I am very impressed, and I think they really do look fantastic. I think it's absolutely brilliant that we're getting some original trilogy figures, and to finally get a Stormtrooper is just very, very cool, and I can see me picking up a couple more to go along with Darth Vader. But the real winner here for me is the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. I think Lego have done a fantastic job with this combo set, and it really does make an exceptional display piece. So if you're a fan of these buildable characters, well, I have to tell you, these two, it's a no-brainer. You're going to have to pick them up because they are that good. If you're not a fan, I tell you, you must be tempted by this Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike at the very least. But of course, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you managed to pick these up yet? What are your thoughts? Let me know. How good is it to be getting these original trilogy figures? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.